Hey guys, happy Thursday. I just wanted to come on and talk to you a little bit about a motto that I use all the time, but I especially use it for my clients in my virtual private accountability groups. And so yesterday was day 3, and my motto for them, I always give them an intention or something to focus on, something to learn, something to think about, something to apply to their own health and fitness journey and just overall philosophy. And so yesterday, my intention for them was to help them learn to screw the scale. I have a tank top that I wear. I think it's in my dirty laundry right now, but I have a tank top that I wear and I love it. It is literally my motto because it took me years of letting a number on that scale define me. It defined whether I had a good day or a bad day. It defined what I was going to eat or not going to eat. If you know my story, you know that in college I suffered with an eating disorder, and then even years after the initial diagnosis and going through treatment or whatever, I still valued the number on the scale more than anything else, more than just how I felt, more than how I felt in my clothes, more than how I felt after my workouts. It didn't matter if I had a really good workout. If I stepped on that scale and it said a number that I didn't like, I would focus on that for the rest of the day instead of the fact that I had like the best workout that morning or I felt really good. It didn't matter. So yesterday was day 3, and I'm having them focus also on incorporating personal development into their life. So for me, I'm listening to podcasts all day long, things that are going to help me be a better me mentally, physically, girl boss wise in my business, as a coach, all different things. So I listen to faith-based ones, I listen to fitness and health, I listen to nutrition, and then I listen to business ones. So I encourage them to find one that fit them. Like if you're really struggling with confidence, there's a lot of great podcasts out there that are based around confidence that I highly recommend that you listen to. But aside from just podcasts, which are totally free, I also do listen or read books. So one book that I always recommend to people is You Are a Badass. And I suck at reading books for whatever reason. Like if you give me a Nicholas Sparks or, what's the other one? I don't know, like a murder mystery. I can sit there and read it for 4 hours straight and be done. But for whatever reason, I struggle to sit through books that are like personal development are going to help me. So I listen on tape to Audible. So I can take it in my car with me. I can listen to it while I'm cooking. I can listen to it while I'm cleaning, while I'm doing busy work, while I'm folding laundry, etc. So I highly, highly recommend that you find some kind of personal development that inspires you. And so my motto is that inspires me and inspires me to help people is screw the scale. So yesterday I had them focus on what they were going to do for personal development and then focusing on their motto for the day, which was screw the scale. Because of course I'm getting some people in my rollover group and then I'm getting some new people. And so especially if you're starting a brand new program, you're wanting like instant results like in 2 days. It doesn't matter if it took you 20 years to put on the pounds, you want results in 2 days. And so sometimes we can be so fixated on a stupid scale. So I shared with them, my story about how I used to let it control me. And I gave them tips and advice about, listen, who cares what that number says? Like if you can lift heavier than you could have on day 1 and it's day 4 or it's week 2 and you're doing the same workout that you did a week and a half ago, and a week and a half ago, you had to take breaks. You were using 5-pound weights. If it came to push-ups, you couldn't do a single one on your toes. You had to do them all on your knees and you struggled. If it came to, your clothes were still fitting tighter than you wanted, you had no energy because you're still learning to eat healthier. And now 2 weeks into it, you're eating healthier. You're feeling better because you're having natural energy from the food that you're eating. You're sleeping better because you're not putting all that processed junk and sugar and crap inside of you. You are building strength in your workouts because now week 1, you're using 5-pound weights and it was a struggle. Week 2, you're up to like 7 or 8-pound weights and it's less of a struggle. You're feeling the difference in your body. You're feeling the difference in your energy. Those are the things that you need to start focusing on Because who cares what that number says? And I love there's images online that you can find where it compares like 4 different body types and they're all the same weight, but they look drastically different, right? And so if you're so fixated on that number does not mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. So my intention for them was to screw the scale. And I just want to read you some of their comments. So I had them, I'm like, if you agree with this and you want to take this pledge to screw the scale, comment below with screw the scale. And here are some of the things that they said. So, a lot of them put screw the scale because that's what they had to hear. I actually have a couple guys in my group this time. And so one of them said, thank you for this. I needed the reminder in the opposite way. My aim was to always be over 200 or 220 pounds. At one point, I wanted to be 220. So guys always want to a lot of guys want to put on mass. They think bigger is better. Doesn't mean that's always healthier, right? Or it doesn't always mean that it's stronger. So he said, before I did the 21-day fix extreme, I was at 205. Then after, when I jumped on the scale, I was at 196. And I was not happy that I lost weight. This reminded me, I have eaten the best I have ever eaten. I have more definition, more range of motion in my workouts. Pounds were lost. Thank you. Yes. Screw the scale. Like, how awesome is that? It just changed your mindset. Some people don't want to lose weight. Some people want to gain. They want to gain size. They want to gain mass. They want to gain strength, which is, you can gain strength in all ways. But if you're living by the scale, the number on the scale, it can really, really hold you back. And for me, it would get inside my head. And so then the next day, now I'm all stressed and that cortisol is rising. So the next day I step on the scale and it's higher. Or there used to be a point in time where I would step on a scale 3 times a day. And my body can fluctuate like 10 pounds in a day. So that would just set me on like a vicious cycle because I've eaten and drinking and I drink a lot of water and my body at times takes time to digest. So I can go up and down pounds, like 10 pounds in a day. And that would totally screw with my head. So this is another reason why I never step on my scale. My husband's in a different one. He steps on it every morning. I try to tell him not to, but All right, another one said, this was a very tough breakup for me, but I'm ready. Screw the scale. That's a new mom. Another one says, my scale is always in a timeout because her and I don't see eye to eye. For sure. I weigh more now than I ever used to. And I wouldn't say that I have the most definition now. There have been times where my body was tighter, my abs were tighter, but I'm happy. I'm way stronger right now. Way stronger than I've ever been. And I do have a lot more muscle and definition than I ever have. And so my goal is never to be skinny. I did that for a long time and it got me in a really dark place. So my goal is never to be skinny. So anyway, she says, I used to worry about the number, but now it's how my body looks and feels in its clothes. The scale is just a mental thing. Like I said, it can totally F with your head. It can get inside your head and if you let it win, then it's over. And so she said, I'm ready to focus, screw the scale. And then I had them also share, like if they're doing a personal development or if they're reading a devotional, share a verse of the day. So some people shared their verse from that day. Some people shared a quote. Another one said, one time I hated the scale so much I threw it away. I own one now, but I don't weigh myself like I used to because she's gotten over the fact. Like when she threw it away, she wasn't used to having it in her bathroom in her life on a daily basis. Now she has one and she rarely steps on it, which I always encourage. Anytime you start a new program, I encourage you to get on there just to find out what is your base point? Where are you at like right now? And then put the freaking thing away, focus on the program, follow it to a T. If it's a 30-day program, if it's a 60-day program, or if it's a 90-day program, even if it's a 21-day program, follow it and do not get back on that scale until the last day or the day after the last day. And then other ones were just sharing, something from their personal development. So I just wanted to remind you guys or encourage you guys, if you feel like you're feeling trapped by your scale, you are feeling, yes, girl, Christy, strong is the new skinny. For sure. I hashtag that one up on Instagram. It is so true. If you're feeling stuck right now or you're feeling trapped or controlled by the scale and it's something that you're thinking about all day long. Or you know, for most people, they tell you, wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom, and then step on the scale. And then when you step on the scale, now you have that number. And now you have the whole rest of the day to go through. If you're feeling like you're at work, you're driving to work, you're coming home after work, and you're still focused on whatever number was told to you that morning, then you probably are having a really unhealthy relationship with your scale and even with like yourself and your worth and your journey. And so I really want to encourage you to put that bad boy away. Give it 3 weeks. I know it sounds, listen, a couple years back, this was really hard for me. It's easier said than done, but I promise you the mental time freedom that I have by not staying on a scale and not caring what that number says is so freeing. And I promise you it can happen for you too. These guys are on day 4. Today's what, Thursday? They're on day 4 of our challenge group. Last week was all of our prep week. And some of them are already putting the scale away. They weighed themselves for day 1. They sent in their measurements and their pictures, and they're not getting back on it 4 days in. So I really, really want to encourage you guys to put your scale away, stop letting that number control you, and start focusing on the other things. Focusing on whatever program that you're doing. If you've been doing it for a week or 2 weeks, if this is your second or third round through the program, some of our 21-day programs, people like to do them again and again. Go back from day 1. Did you have to hit pause? Did you take a lot of breaks? What weight were you using? Were you huffing and puffing? What was your energy like? Think about those things. Could you do a push-up? Could you not do one move? Like one move was just like out of the question, like you couldn't even do it. And then think about where you are a couple weeks into it. Are you eating healthier if you're following the nutrition plan? The plans only work when you follow them. I hate when people say this program didn't work for me. It drives me crazy because then when I have them record in what they're actually eating, they're not following the plan. So therefore the plan didn't fail. So if you're following the nutrition plan and you're giving it 100% in your workouts, are you noticing that your energy is increased? You're huffing and puffing a little bit less. You're taking less rest breaks in between. You can lift heavier. You can last, my neighbors are like staring at me in the window. You can last longer, especially if you're doing like one of the max out programs, your time is increasing before you max out. Those things are so much more important than what the number on the scale says. This is one reason why I love selfies, because photos don't lie. So yes, I like to also about how you feel in clothes, but also that's not going to show definition. And so that's another reason why I like to take selfies, because for me, they're like a daily progress thing. Like, are you making progress? Are you staying the same? If I've been lifting, I want to start to notice those muscle gains. And I guarantee you, people are going to start noticing it on you too. So stick with it, put your scale away, start focusing on, are you able to last longer, run faster, lift heavier, have more energy, you just feel better overall. Those are the things that are way more valuable. Those are the things that you should focus on, and stop and screw the freaking scale and put it away.